Okay, here we go. So, good evening, dear hearts. This is another episode of the Inner Dance Show, and this evening I am thrilled to have Ahilan Sundaralingam, an inner dance trainer and facilitator extraordinaire, and co-founder of the phenomenal Be Light app, as my guest. Ahilan, very welcome to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Oh, thank you for having me here. Wow, it's really amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice that we get to spend some time together. I've not met you in person yet, but we have shared some virtual space in some of the inner dance conversations and trainings. But one of the reasons, well, one of the many reasons that I invited you on the show is that I know that you are co-founder of the sound and wellbeing app Be Light. And I heard some people discussing it in the inner dance world, and I downloaded it onto my phone, and I have been using it every day for the last couple of months ever since. And it has radically changed my life. And I sing its praises to whoever will listen. And I would hope that whoever does listen to this conversation between us will download the app themselves. And yeah, it would just be really nice to have a chat about your journey with Be Light and yeah, anything you can really tell us about it. So I'm curious when you came together with your colleagues and decided to create an app for well-being.
Wow, yeah, this is really a long story. I will try to make it short. Um, so um, it's pre-pandemic time when we decided to go on a travel, and we were both a very good friend of mine,
Hmm.
and we were working as a consultant. We were really stressed, and we were having a 60 to 80 hour week. And at one point, we both decided we don't, there's something is not really working well for us. So we quit our job and we went on a travel. We both went in different direction,
Hmm.
and we explored um, different things. At one point, we came across, or Ollie came across the light machine, and I came across in a dance. So it was interesting.
Right.
Yeah, and we realized that we were looking into something which is um, more soft. It's maybe we don't need any substances, and because we were also looking into something which is not lasting for 6 hours or 8 hours. But how can we um, alter our consciousness, alter our state of mind to be into the flow state? And there was one thing was music or sound, and the other thing was light.
Yeah.
And so we come across a light machine, and we experimented with it, and they are quite expensive. They can be 10,000 euros, but it's really amazing. You just use it, and within a few minutes, the state changes of the consciousness, and you can experience different um, different states. And that was our very first experience with the light machine. And somehow it was so interesting that we dig into all the knowledge, and well, and we realized that it was already used in the past, in the ancient times, with with with, uh, with fire and with light within the cave. So it's um, that was so interesting that we thought about how can we actually bring it to the modern world, to the world now, where we have mobile smartphones and laptops and iPads and VR glasses. And from there, it was at the beginning, it was kind of a fun because we wanted to do it something, and we were thinking about different ideas. And and then uh, there was a time when we thought about, okay, let's create an app. But then we are both not real professional musicians. Um, and that was just before the COVID, and I left to Maya, to Palawan, where the inner dance is founded and based. And Ollie stayed in Thailand, and he spent a lot of time because suddenly it was pandemic, it was lockdown, and he was looking into deeper, and he found the third person for us. That's Ivo, who's also at the same time he was looking into this light and sound, but he's by heart a musician. So it was an amazing fit.
Wow.
Yeah. And from there, we started to create this Be Light app, and we had a fourth founder who joined us later on. Yeah.
Well, so everything sounds like it started to fall into place and you met the right people at the right time. But I'm really fascinated by what you're saying about harnessing the ancient practices of fire and light, and I just have this image of us sort of gathering in caves and the flickering of the flames, and I guess that's actually what the experience is like when I'm using my smartphone in the morning and I'm, you know, with my eyes closed, and there's flickering obviously from the light, and it is a bit like being in a cave, and it is a bit like being with a huge fire raging and projecting images in front of me. So that's a really genius concept to bring it to the modern age and to, I suppose, really use the screen as the fireplace.
Yeah, this is at the beginning. I was really, uh, I had a little bit of doubt because, the usual thing we have with technology, and there is a screen, and we are using the screen. And by myself was thinking about how can we use the screen um, to meditate or bring us ourselves in a flow state.
Yeah,
Um, and then, as you say, when you see the the result, that when you see that you can use the screen, and this can be a fireplace in an ancient cave, and
yeah,
the flickering can be a wheel which is turning around in front of the fire, and just giving you certain frequencies. um, it really shifted me also from the beginning to now. I can see that how can we also use all the gadgets we have to gain more time than lose time in it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so really, I guess that, I mean, that's really, I'm imagining what these gadgets were all about in the first place was to evoke expanded consciousness and to allow us to become connected. But in many ways, it disconnects us and there's a lot of dissociation with it. And what I'm hearing you say is, in a way, we're reclaiming it, that we're able to expand consciousness and to bring more consciousness into our lives through the gadgets instead of the dead scrolling and like you say, losing time. It's like you can lose an hour in a heartbeat just by going onto Facebook or social media. I know I can. So I have to say I'm really enjoying that when I'm reaching for my phone in the morning, it's to nourish myself and to alter my consciousness to start the day in an expanded state that is harnessing my innate resources rather than relying upon external substances to do that.
Yeah, that's so uh, yeah, true. um, for us, the 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 phone and all what we do with this is so um, limited to what is given to us from external. And you are so right, when we can take this time and go deeper into us. And also what was one of the reasons why we have created this is also what we found ourselves a few years before was in the corporate business environment, and we were working a lot, and we are all disconnected, and we were doing things which were um, not really helping the planet, or either helping us. It was coming from that's what we have learned, and that's how it works, and we never even ask a question about this, or we might ask questions a lot, but we never had the chance to look deeper into what is actually driving us. And a tool like this can also help me a lot to look into, oh, okay, first of all, to connect with myself, yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
before even connecting, yeah, with the world.
Yeah.
Mm.
And from what you say, pre-pandemic, if you're working 60 to 80 hours a week, how easy is it to stay conscious and to stay present? You're just working yourself into the ground, and you've really turned things around with this app, and pouring your energy and your attention into something that can change the lives of millions.
Yeah, that's our goal. That's we hope so, and we also want to bring this to places where usually we wouldn't expect exactly this kind of changes. Like in the we had a talk um, with a football tournament, yeah, in southern Germany with football
Hmm.
clubs. You would usually not expect this kind of things happening there, but we were invited. So there's an opening happening within our society, and
Yeah.
that's beautiful to see. And people are so then people come to us and they want to experience. But if you look at football, for example, it's a good example. Um, they have kind of four pillars how they what they use. That one of the pillar is fitness, then they have nutrition, then they have the usual tactics they have to
Hmm.
learn, and the fourth is mental. But many of those clubs are not um, really using the mental part. Apart from the really professional players like Beckham or Ronaldo or Messi, they do a lot of things in visualization. But we are also looking into, already the young um, boys and girls, when they go and they learn, they go to football, they are already in a super pressured environment. They have
Yeah.
to be super yeah, high profis. And this um, this invitation for us was really an opening space for also to talk to the trainers, to the teachers, and to the parents and to the kids, that how important the mental part is. Because at the end, the body is kicking the ball, but
Hmm.
the mind is making the goal. So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's phenomenal that, like you say, there's an opening where you're able to hold these conversations, and especially when, from what I was reading on the Twitter feeds and things. So it was Bayern Munich, the football team, that had to go with the app, and they have, well, hundreds of thousands of fans worldwide, and the influence that they have as role models, to particularly to young men and to men around the world. I just think that this is such an opportunity, really, for the app to grow and to receive the platform that it deserves, but also to be introduced, like you say, to sport and other fields where perhaps mind hasn't been as well recognized or as nurtured as it needs to be. But I'm curious, I mean, how did the team at Bayern Munich find the app? What was the feedback?
So far we have contact with them,
Yeah.
and we have some other clubs. They also have, they want to use it. We have so we are in contact with them because it's just 2 weeks ago, so
Hmm.
we don't know where it will go. Yeah, so let's see. But there was already for us big to have to be invited there.
Yeah.
And we have one big fan from former national goalkeeper from VfL Stuttgart, Timo Hildebrand. He is also similar like you. He has some um, issues to sleep, so sleeping
Hmm.
issues, and he is using Be Lights, and he has no issues anymore. So he has a
Wow.
really relaxed sleep. Yeah, and he is using daily base, and he is a big fan of us. So that's good to mention. So you are definitely right. This is good to have also role models to bring, because it's easy to be in push into a corner like it's the meditation app or it's something like
Hmm.
this. Yeah, and if you want to go deeper into what is even doing like um, bettering your concentration, your focus, your performance, as well as looking into your emotional state, and it allows you to look into emotional state while not being reactive. So you can see what is happening for you, and um, you can come. At least you have a possibility to look at that without fear. Yeah, so it can have a change.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And it's such a gentle process as well. But I'm curious, I'm someone who's always been able to sleep well. You know, when I was a baby, my mum used to have to wake me up to feed me. So that's never been an issue. And I know that there's on the app that there's one for sleep. And I'm wondering, is this something that you would use, is that something that you would use before bed as well? Or would you recommend that it's just something that you would do earlier in the day?
Oh, I sleep really very well. I I can sleep like a baby. So I don't use like that Belight app for this. But I would, if you have difficulties to fall asleep, you can use it because it is starting at the beginning with a light, and
Hmm.
the light is anyway used always by closed eyes. So
Yeah.
that's why it's a good place to fall asleep. What I use is sometimes I use the inner dance playlist for sleep while sleeping. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
That's brilliant. And
Mm.
you know, so not everybody who's listening will know very much about inner dance, but maybe you could just tell us a little bit about, you know, why you would use a soundscape from inner dance to help you sleep. You know, what sort of things does the music from inner dance support?
Oh, I knew this question will come.
Yeah, if
And
you could make it as simple as possible.
so every time when I try to explain, there are many different ways coming out. So what I explain usually to the first timer is that we are conducting music in a way that it is mimicking the sleep cycle, the brainwaves of the sleep cycle, and the music is will bring you slowly into the sleep while you are awake, and you are you are laying down on your back and you have your eyes closed. So this is how I explain the inner dance playlist and how it is works. So then you have the possibility, because when you lay down, there's something happening with our body. Our body remembers something very old. That's that's a system which we trusted only when we knew that it is safe for us. We lay down when we want to rest or when we want to digest. And in this rest state, um, where there's this sympathetic nervous system is going down, so that what is responsible for fight, flight, freeze, and the parasympathetic nervous system is going up, which is responsible for rest and digest. So it allow us to surrender and not to react onto things. While when we go into the when we mimic the sleep cycle, it allow us to go into a dreamlike state while being awake. And we all know, all of us has dreamed at one point. The dream world, we are we are entering into another dimension, and it allow us to see, feel, experience things which is beyond the imagination of this world. And so we are accessing another state of consciousness, or we are accessing a state, and we can, well, we access, we do not react to it, and it allows us to look into it. So this is the way how I explain inner dance for first timers. um, Basically it is a dance. It's nothing, something out there, something far away, something mystical. It is inside, as it already says, in the
Yeah.
inner dance. Yeah. It's
I think
um, yeah, I think it's been always there. It's it will be there even before me, and some of us has already experienced this. And and then when we come and experience, when we lay down then to the inner dance, like this doorway to the consciousness, when we lay down to it, and we suddenly um, realize, wow, I know this.
yeah,
This is something I know. Yeah.
yeah. As you say, there's something so deeply familiar about it, even if it's for the first time. And I think that you explained it really beautifully. And again, I'm reminded of actually the Be Light app. You know, I'm lying down to it in bed in the morning, and there's a surrendering process, and I'm experiencing sounds and light that are entraining me into a blended conscious state. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess I'm biased, but I very much experience the elements of inner dance in the app. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, these are different. Um, okay, so maybe there's a bit of my personal story is interesting here, because I was born in Sri Lanka, and I moved to Germany when I was 13 years old. And Sri Lanka is a very tropical country, and
Hmm.
it's warm, and it's a group identity. And I was born into a family with some with a shamanic root, and I came here, and I was in the seasonal country, and this is called, and the abstract language like German, and so there's two super polarities, and
Yeah.
and I found my home in between those polarities, and for me, the dance and be light is the whole some one is something they're representing the same, but in the different ends. Yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. And one is the outer dance, I would call it, which also goes deep into inner. The other one is inner dance, which also can go into the outer. Yeah, as well as in the inner. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So maybe could you explain a little bit about then the app and the function of it? So, you know, for somebody downloading it for the first time on their phone, you know, what's the process and what happens?
Sure. So you can find our Be Light app when you use an iPhone in App Store or in Play Store. It's Be Light meditation app,
Hmm.
and if you download it, you have you need to sign up with your email address or with the Google or any other um, provider, and then we have few free sessions like experiences, and I would recommend to do the welcome session, which will also explain you how to use it. And
Okay.
mm, so these sessions are made in a way that there is a sound and light part. They are they are parallelly working. And so if you use one of if you select one of the session, you will describe for why this session is made for example, for gratitude or for
Hello, Ahilan.
um,
Oh, we
so
lost you there
and
for just.
so what can you hear me?
Yep, I heard you back. It's just I think would you just dropped out for just a moment.
Okay. Ah, yeah, sorry. So back, right?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, cool. So what? So the light is we are using the screen for the flickering light, and you can find your best way to put the phone or your iPad for your laptop in front of you, or if you
Hmm.
have a sofa or bed, and you can lay down, and also you can put it at the side. You don't need
Hmm.
to hold it in your hand, uh, and and this is like then you can start the session, um, but by closed eyes, because we don't need to have the eyes open. The closed with the closed eyes, it will it work very well. and we even recommend to keep the eyes closed. And the session, we have three different, many different kind of sessions that can be short or long,
Mm-hmm.
and it will be guided. Sometimes we have a breath work in before, sometimes some affirmations. It depends on the session type. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's great. Certainly for me in the morning, I can choose like if I've got a little bit longer, then I might choose one that's like 15 or 20 minutes or an even longer one. Or if I'm short of time, there's one or two that are like 7 or 8 minutes, which is perfect. So it's really lovely to be able to choose what I'm looking for in the morning. Like you say, if it's a gratitude or I'm needing something for focus and intuition. So it gives me an opportunity to reflect on how I want my day to be, and then I choose the session which is going to help me with that.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me okay, Helen?
Ah, yeah, I can hear. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
so I was just going to ask it. So what do the flickering lights actually do?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, so we all know the effect of the sound and that how effective it is, and we use the sound. And when we are up and when we have eyes open
Mm-hmm.
and when we are vertical, then our eyes are processing a lot of information. And the main part of the brain, which is processing the visual cortex, is like a supercomputer. It's really receiving so much information, it is processing it. And when we lay down to the Light app and when we close the eyes, the because usually the sound, when we listen to the sound, it's just the audio cortex, but with
Mm-hmm.
the lights we are and with the lights, this is the flickering light, and what we are synchronized we have synchronized the lights with the sound and with the brain waves, so that we are we are able to cover the bigger part of the brain to synchronize or entrain with the sound, so that we can get into certain um, waves much faster than with the sound. And um, that's the main and entry point for light for us. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So, yeah.
And I can certainly attest to how powerful it is. I know it's had such a radical impact on my life, but so I'm hearing that you're harnessing, so you're entraining the brain and brain waves, and you're working with the visual cortex and the auditory system. Is that right? So
Yeah.
sound and to entrain the brain into particular states of mind.
Mm. Exactly. We are working with the different frequencies to entrain the brain,
Mm-hmm.
and then throughout the system also to change from the visual and auditory to different other brain parts. It
Right.
depends
Yeah.
on, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So with the visual, with the auditory, then you're sort of awakening different areas of the brain, and so that more of your consciousness, more of your brain power is coming online. Is that right?
Yeah, most of the time the initial issue is that our brain is even if you close the eyes, our brain is still um, very present, and
Yeah.
it's not easy to. It's sometimes much easier to surrender by body, but laying down and to allow. But to surrender with the mind, especially in the Western world or Westernized world, is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And um, so this is where this light aspect come into the game, light and the sound aspect come into the game. Surrendering, as well as then from there to open up a brighter part of the brain as consciousness. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
Mm.
that makes total sense. And I have to say that prior to working with Be Light in the mornings, I was I would have described myself as very photosensitive. And I know that certainly working with inner dance, a lot of my sensitivities have sort of disappeared. But I was very surprised that I'm able to work with the flashing lights, and it's not having any adverse reactions whatsoever. I'm actually becoming more and more attuned to brighter lights, and I don't need my sunglasses as much. And yeah, it's just, and it's giving me pause for thought about who I thought I was and what I thought I was able to tolerate, actually. So, is this app suitable for people who would describe themselves as photosensitive?
Um, so we are um, we are careful with this because there are
Hmm.
many different level of photosensitivity,
Sure.
and that's why we cannot easily say yes. But what we recommend is to for that's why also we have used the we are using the screen, because the screen is much more softer than if you would use a flash from the camera, or if you would use any lights. And so that's I thank you for your feedback. It's really helpful for us, because I think there's something about using the soft light of the LED screen than strong lights.
Hmm.
uh, and So what we recommend is to so if you use the phone, and if you don't put straight away in your face, but if you just project it on the wall, there will be a small light reflecting, and then you can see how it is working if you are sensitive. Or if you are hypersensitive, try first with the sound. Yeah, so you can turn around the phone and just
Okay,
listen to the sound. Yeah.
great. Well, I think those are really great suggestions for people that are curious or who might be just a little bit concerned. So that gives them a pathway in to try it for themselves, and to see if it works for them or not. But I have to say, I'm a counsellor and supervisor, and I recommend this to anyone and everybody who will listen. And all of the people that I supervise are recommending it to their clients as well. So hopefully that there's going to be a lot more uptake of the app over the next 12 months. I imagine things are going to get very busy for you and your co-founders. And
Yeah.
and and so inclusive of the time that you spent with Bayern Munich and with the footballers, do you do any other in-person events? And would you come to Scotland?
We would love to. I would love to come to Scotland. I haven't been there. Uh, so what we are setting up right now is also we for us is we come from the in-person world. So
Yeah,
first did the sessions. We are still doing in-person sessions and live sessions, and that's where we found this. Yeah, beautiful feedback from people, and when we see the faces of people coming out of this, that's also made us to really give us so much power to create this app. And we don't want to lose this, because we all love it. All of us are also facilitators of different modalities, as well as Be Light.
yeah,
And we are setting up right now a, a team to even hold more in-person sessions in Europe.
amazing.
Yeah. Also, we have yeah. There's something interesting, because this is in a way also fun. Like it's also bring joy into some situations. Like if you have a, let's say, a corporate setting, and you have a meeting, and or you have a team event, and you want to have something, and this can create also sense of um, togetherness. At the
Yes,
same
yeah,
time, also it can be fun. It's not like you need to work hard to get something. It's doing it for you in a way.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And that's a great idea. I like the idea of, especially, like you say, it's bringing teams together. I imagine, certainly from my experience, I go into the flow state with the app very easily, and ideas come thick and fast. And then I'm imagining that teams coming together to do something fun and enjoyable, like using the app, and having those in-person sessions might really help to bring sort of creative flow between everybody, might even resolve conflict and bring about an ease of tension. The scope for the work that you're doing is really infinite, isn't it?
Yes, yes. What we did something really. We are working with someone together, which is really funny. I love this story. Uh, we want to put this part also within the computer game. So
Okay.
because people are sitting, the kids and yeah, young people are sitting in front of the laptop, in front of the screen, and playing for hours and hours and hours
Yeah.
computer, and they don't even go out. Sometimes some of them. So we talk this, and it's a non-issue also for the game developers, because they, at the end, they don't want to have the, the blame on them. So we had some talks with them that we would like to give meditation within the game, like a session, a Be Light session. They can sit in front of it, and when they do this, then they get their superhero will charge more, have more charge, or will have a superpower, and
Wow.
yeah, this. So there's a lot of possibilities to integrate this technology into metaverse, and as well as into a car.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Tell me about that.
Yeah, this it's like we've been thinking about the time, or the waiting time for load or electric battery. So
Okay.
we need to load it. If you drive somewhere, and then um, if you need to charge your battery, then you have to wait a few minutes. It's not going to happen just like right now with the petrol or diesel.
Yeah.
So and we were thinking about to. When we've been we are in talk with some of the people, um, to bring Be Light into the car, because they are also everywhere now displays, so they can take this 10 minutes to rest. And
Wow.
how could be that they can, they're on a highway, and we on the highway, and then we go and we charge our battery, while we are also resting for 5 to 10 minutes, so that we
Hmm.
can also be charged and fully charge and continue driving. Yeah.
That's genius. So you, like you say, recharging your batteries while your batteries are being charged. But I love how clever that is, though. How can you integrate it into everyday circumstances where people are, where you have a captive audience, really? If you've got people who are on a screen and they're getting lights flashed at them anyway, how can you integrate that into their game time? And if someone has some time on their hands while they're waiting for, like you say, batteries to be charged, it would be the perfect opportunity, instead of just to go onto your social media or your phone, but just to sit back and allow yourself to get some deep rest. I love that. I love that, just the ingenuity of how can we bring this into just those everyday moments where, like you say, it's not taking something away from you. You don't have to give energy to do this. You're receiving.
Yeah, I also like it how you frame it before. Like it's really not taking, but it's also enabling the energy within,
Yeah,
and the it's remembering something, remembering the light from inside, and
yeah,
give us. Yeah, it's
yeah. Wow, I'm just so excited for the four of you, and I'm excited for everybody who has the app or who's going to get the app and to benefit from this. I mean, I know I'm like maybe laboring the point, but I do have to say these last few months it's just changed my world. And I'm not someone who sings highly about something unless I really believe in it. And I know how important and invaluable the work that you're doing is, and I'm just so honoured that you've taken some time to come here to chat with me about it. And I'm really just delighted for what's coming ahead. It sounds like you're having some phenomenally exciting conversations with different, I don't know, innovators who can also see the scope and potential of what you put together.
yeah. And thank you so much. I mean, it's really, for us. it's always good to hear what you have shared. This is There's one thing about creating an app and putting all this effort to get it out there, and
Yeah.
it's really something I haven't thought it is that much effort. And I left the business area and I came back and to with a new energy, and also to bring something into the world, come back into the system and integrate myself into the system, but
Hmm.
bringing something different than I was doing before. And
Yeah.
all of us had the same thing. And for us, it's so important to hear voices like yours. This is really that that light which we are, which empower us to continue this work. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
And so I'm curious, do you collect data? Is the research a part of what you're doing, or is it anecdotal at the moment, or is there an opportunity for like people like myself who could give feedback that then is collated for you to gather that evidence?
So the the light part and the sound part, they are both as they are separately in within the box. There are a lot of data for the light. There was a lot of research in the last century, as
Sure.
well as for the sound.
Yeah.
And also, if anyone is interested, you can go on our webpage, uh, b-light.app, and there's a science part where you can check out how the light part is also working, and the sound part as well. But we are combining the ancient wisdom and the modern science,
Yeah.
and we are interested into also how the specific B-light method is yeah, we want to prove it with more research.
Yeah.
And at the moment we are working with so what we want to do is like to have some feedback system. And we are in talk with some of other partners who have, for example, the rings or some watches. They collect data and they can give back while doing the sessions, or as well as after the experiences. And
Hmm.
but we are also very much interested into um, qualitative data, like
Yeah.
yeah, from, like, even if anyone has experiences like you shared, we really would love to have this. So please contact us and give us feedback, and we are happy to yeah, integrate into also a system, because I think this is how it should work, to have always feedback from people who are using it in many levels, not only on the quantitative level. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring in as well, so for people that might want to give it a go or might not want to do it on their own, I've attended an online group session, and I think you've got another one coming up soon, or have I missed it? But I know that there's opportunities for people who've downloaded the app to join a group session, and then there you meet people from all around the world who are tuning in at the same time to have that shared experience.
Yes, we have online group session. I don't know exactly when this is, uh, but it is. Yeah, you can check on our webpage. You will find it, or on the Instagram. It's so it's also on a donation based, so you
Yeah.
can feel free, whatever you can. Yeah, it's completely also open. You can and this is also something we found interesting. One part is to do the experience at home, but also the other one is also to do it with other people together, even if we are far away from each other, but it's doing it at the same time together.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this online session is happening once a month, if I'm right. And at the moment I'm also working, this is something where I'm working on it. Probably it will take some time to provide some opportunity where um, users of the app can have create a little group to do a session. Let's say today I feel like I want to do a little session, and I want to say, okay, who else is online, and let's do an online session together. And then you can do this kind of, yeah.
Brilliant.
functionality feature we are working on right now.
Oh, well, that's exciting. I'll keep an
Yeah,
eye out for that,
yeah,
certainly. Love the idea of it being spontaneous as well.
yeah,
Who's available right now? Let's do this.
yeah.
I had this image of, kind of like having just a load of friends round and let's all just get our screens out and then sharing the experience. Yeah.
Mm,
But that's for the future. Anyway,
yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. So, is I feel like I don't know. There's so much more that we could talk about regarding Be Light, and I'm curious if there's anything that we haven't covered that you feel is important, or if you feel that we've kind of given it as much attention as we can. Because I want to make sure that we really honor the work that you've done.
Oh, we can really talk a lot about this. This is true. Uh, yeah, it's. No, I think it's. Thank you for your questions and insight. It's helpful. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could talk about it to anybody that will listen. Absolutely. But yeah, so we've got about 10 minutes left, so maybe we could just turn our attention towards some other things then just in the final 10 minutes. But
Mm.
Ahilan, I've I experience you as a very knowledgeable person, and I love listening to you, and I love how you're able to articulate really deeply complex theories into something quite simple. And so I'd really love to pick your brains about any books and resources that you could recommend to us listeners, things that might have inspired you, that for those that are curious, we could look them up and see if they resonate with us.
Mm, yeah. One thing that um, inspired me throughout the time and still now again and again is Jiddu Krishnamurti. And I think I really find every time when I'm listening to him or when I hear or when I read um, his books, every time I can find something new in it, but also something very old. And also the way how if you listen to his life story, it changed myself a lot through knowing this life story. Yeah, I would recommend if I have a chance to recommend one thing, then I would recommend to read or listen to Jiddu Krishnamurti.
Okay, can you
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about him? Because I've never heard of him before. That's my ignorance.
Oh, he in the last century, he was from India in
Hmm.
southern India, and he was brought to. I make it short. He was brought to UK to become the new spiritual leader from uh, from some movements, and he had all the possibilities to learn a lot of different things. And then there was this day when he should become the new spiritual leader, and and this big happening, he announced that he cannot do this because he cannot be a leader because everyone is totally simplified. Everyone is the leader of themselves, so he cannot be a leader. And I found this super brave. And
Yeah.
there was if you that's a really big story behind. And then if you listen to him, what he's teaching or he's sharing is yeah, something which changed me a lot.
Okay. I always think it's beautiful when we come across somebody or something that just resonates so deeply with our souls, and it's like a light switches on inside us and just things shift. And it sounds like you've really found that in his life and in his work.
Yeah, it's it's like, you know, when you can see yourself in another person, like there's a mirroring happening. And
Yes.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, you know me and I know you.
Exactly. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have said this too, and oh, I
Yeah.
feel it, and
Yeah.
yeah, I like it. This this way of looking at things, like when somebody is speaking, like when you speak right now, and when I'm listening to you, that what is speaking right now is like me speaking through you, because that's what you are saying is coming in my space and landing in me, and that what I am listening to is what I am talking to myself through you. And if you have this kind of feeling, and then you have the big resonance or synchronicity, what is about also what is said about, then it is yeah, it has impact on one.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Um, it reminds me of what it feels like in those really special moments in a therapy session, and when I embody sort of the loving mirror, and in those moments of true resonance. And Carl Rogers would say it's when a soul reveals themselves to you. That's a moment of therapy, and that's what I'm seeing when you're speaking. It just two people are being recognized, that true loving witnessing in that moment. That's lovely.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so perhaps there might be some words of wisdom from him, or is there any piece of advice or something that you heard along the way in your life that has stayed with you that you could share with us that might also resonate with us?
Oh, thank you for asking this. There's something really very simple what I heard for a while ago, and it is still resonating with me. And um, it's about taking responsibility, but it's also about my relationship or our relationship with our inner world as well as with outer world. But it is
Mhm.
very simple, and it says like give only what you can give freely, and take only what is freely given.
Wow.
Uh, and this is something I feel so strong also, because already this, if you can embody this, then all the relationship you have with yourself and with external world, you are moving away from the context of shame and guilt, and you are coming into another space. And uh, there's a lot of um, awakening moment through embodying give only what you can give freely, and take only what is freely given. Mm.
It speaks to me of true freedom.
Mm. Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
that's thank you. This is interesting because it's really about freedom. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I'm just letting those words sink in. My body recognizes them, at a deep cellular level.
Mm.
I I'm always so appreciative when I hear truth. It just cuts through, and you can feel it. And so I'm just absorbing that, and I feel myself changing just with those words. So thank you so much for bringing that in. It's really appreciate that. But, and I feel reluctant to shift away, but I'm aware we've got a few minutes left, and I wanted to bring in that I know that you're offering a training coming up with our dear Sophie from Belgium, and sadly I won't be able to attend. But I know, is that coming up in, is it March time that you're co-creating and co-facilitating with Sophie?
Yes, this is in end of March, 22nd to 24th, from Friday to Sunday. We have immersion in Western Germany, quite in central for continental Europe, but a
Mm-hmm.
bit far away from the UK maybe. But of course, it's reachable, and we will create space for an immersion, so that when a group of people are coming together, and there will be themes and topics emerge, and we will look on those themes and topics from an inner dance perspective, and also we will integrate some of the studies we did in the last 2 months,
Wow.
in total 3 months. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
And so is the training, is that open for people who've never trained in inner dance before, or is it something for facilitators who are a bit more seasoned?
It's open for also for people who never did inner dance, because I believe that when we come together, it's not about our experience of something. It's can be about experience, but it's also about what we all know, and we all know already everything, and we can
Yes.
create the space to um, for all those to be there, to immerse in this space. And sometimes the most beautiful things come from people who have never experienced something, and we all know this the first moment. And yeah, that's so yes, everyone is welcome.
Beautiful.
Mm.
So for whoever's listening, if you can get an opportunity, if there are still spaces available, I highly recommend that you make your way to Germany to learn with these two phenomenal trainers. You won't be disappointed. So I guess, like I said before, Ahilan, I think you might just have to come over to the UK so that we can make the most of your talents and have you hold beautiful space. But
And
thank you.
I hope also, yeah, I hope also to see you in person soon. That would be nice. I would love to have a
I,
chat.
I
Yeah.
I would love that too, for sure. We'll have to make that happen. Definitely. But listen, Ahlan, thank you so very much for your time. I've been looking forward to this hour for ages, and I was nervous, and it's just been really lovely and easy to talk with you and to hear all about Be Light and all the phenomenal things that you're creating with your co-founders and how you're going to change the world, because that's what I see happening. And so thank you so much for agreeing to be here tonight. I'm not sure if anybody who's listening might have a question, and I'm still trying to get a handle on the technology, but I'm just going to see if anybody would like to ask a question, and then bear with me and see if I can unmute them. But I'm just opening it out there. If anybody would like to say anything to Ahilan, to ask a question, if you just raise your hand and let me know. I'm just going to look at the phone. I think you might be off the hook, Ahilan. I don't think there's any burning questions at the moment. But if you do want to get in touch around Be Light, then I would suggest that you go onto your phone and you either look up the website Be Light meditation, or download the free app, and then you've got the option, you've got some free sessions available, and then for a small annual subscription fee, you've got access to everything. And I honestly can't recommend it highly enough. It will change your world. So if you do anything, do that. Anyway, Alan, thank you very much. I'm just going to stop the recording now. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we sort of finish up?
Oh, thank you so much. It was really I enjoyed being here, and thanks for this beautiful, wonderful time. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll just stop the recording. So if you just hang on a second, and then we can just have a chat off the record. Bear 2 seconds.
Mhm.